Houston seeking its 6th Classic title. Only Arkansas has won as many as 6. Texas Tech has been to the finals 3 times and won all 3 times.
Now this could be a dandy game, Dave. Very competitive, I would expect.
And the Red Raiders control the tap. Lenny Holly, the freshman point guard who became a starter mid-season, picked up by Anthony Goldwire.
Hey, Houston not in that matchup zone. They come out man-to-man.
Holly, deep corner, denied by Goldwire, and the pass too tall for Dale. Picked off by Diaz, all the way for 2, David Diaz.
That's the one thing that concerns James Dickey, is the fact that his club does turn the ball over. He attributes a lot of that to youth. They've really cut back on that in this tournament. They've been doing a better job. They cannot give it back like that.
Lance Hughes cutting to the hoop. He lost it to Outlaw.
Tech with 2 possessions. They have yet to get a shot.
Shot 63% in their win over TCU last night. Houston took note, and they have come out very aggressive in their man-to-man. Tech likewise man defense. Jesse Drain off a career-high performance, very short on his frozen rope jumper, and here comes Holland.
I'll tell you why it was short, because Jason Sasser, the freshman, did a great defensive job.
NBA three-pointer Lance Hughes. 48% during the season from three-point land.
He can light it up, and he scores a lot of different ways. He's more than just a shooter. He is a scorer. He can go inside. He likes to put it on the floor, and if you give him room, he'll do what he did that time.
Goldwire tried to use the Derek Smith screen. And on the back cut, Diaz is free.
Oh, how about the pass from Derek Smith? Good look, good pass.
Diaz already, Bob, more buckets than he had all last night.
That's why I said if he got only 1, Houston was in trouble.
Well, no longer an issue.
Now I'm free.
This jumper by Holly, rebound Outlaw. 10 rebounds per game. Second only to Will Clemens. And Houston with the blocking foul. As they go in against Lenny Holly, Goldwire draws the contact.
Talking about David Diaz, I mentioned the job defensively that Tony Watson from Texas did on him last night. That entire Texas team, I thought, played the finest defensive game I have seen them play under Tom Penders. They really got after it.
Goldwire hits a pair, one of the top free throw shooters in the conference. Makes it 6-3 Houston.
Let's see if Houston stays man-to-man. They do. They play so much of that matchup zone, I'm a little bit surprised.
And another Hughes three-pointer. Did not shoot well. 10 points all he managed against TCU, but Friday night he led them with 23 against the Baylor Bears. And on his game early.
You know what we need to mention? Tech had 19 three-pointers in the 2 games played between these two this year.
Derek Smith comes off long.
19 out of 41.
They're letting them fly. Holly on the run. Jason Sasser handles it for the first time, as does Clemens, and Outlaw got a piece. Clemens stays after it. Outlaw, the shot blocking leader, defensive player of the year in the conference. As we finally get a chance to focus on the Clemens Outlaw matchup. Neither team going inside yet. Clemens gets it again, double teamed, and Outlaw with the steal.
Nice double down by Bo Outlaw that time. Good defensive play.
16:43 in the first half. 6-6 game. Brad Dale with the foul. Second for Texas Tech. Dale, defensive and rebounding specialist, junior from Amarillo. James Dickey, fashioning back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in Lubbock since 85 to 87. Holly got it all the way down.
Boy, did he do a nice job getting in the passing lane. Great anticipation by an outstanding freshman.
Who has matured every game since he took the starting job from Chad Collins at midseason. Drain's first three-pointer rebounded by Diaz, and the follow goes. So much for pain, he feels no pain. What hand injury?
That's right, exactly. You remember 1 year ago, Houston came into this game with its leading scorer injured, Sam Mack. He had 28 in that one. Look here, you talk about working hard on the offensive glass. David Diaz, he's the injured player coming into the championship game this year. He didn't look like it.
Foul is on Sasser, 8-8. And Texas Tech again turns it over. Holly lost it on the dribble. Their 4th turnover already in a little less than 4 minutes. Goldwire just as generous. Sasser looks up, has Hughes.
Hey, we got a dunking contest going, and Outlaw hasn't had a chance yet.
But just wait. Hughes, their leader during the season, 21 ducks at just 6'4", a generously estimated 6'4", probably.
Boy, did you see Sasser go after Jesse Drain on the other side of the floor. He really bumped him.
And the offensive foul gives it back over to the Red Raiders. Outlaw called for the push. First foul, 10-8, Texas Tech. 15-34 in the first half.
The Buick LeSabre, Family Circle Magazine's Domestic Family Car of the Year. LeSabre won by finishing first in important family categories like value, comfort, dealer satisfaction, performance, safety, style, and of course, dependability. Buick LeSabre, a welcome addition to the American family.
You're looking sharp. You've come so far. And we know how to make the most of who you are.
Only Gillette Sensor has spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. A shave this close, this safe was never this easy. Sensor, and now there's Gillette Shaving Gel with advanced lubricants for an incredibly smooth shave.
Gillette, the best of American. Auto Value is the store where the parts you're looking for.
For a blast of power and better mileage from all grades of gasoline, pour in a bottle of Berryman Gas Blast Octane Booster. And to safely keep your fuel system carbon-free and that new car running for a long, long time, try Berryman Injector Cleaner Fuel Treatment. Instead of the other leading brand, reach for the quality of Berryman.
Auto Value is the store with the parts you're looking for.
We're checking the Dr. Pepper scoreboard. The ACC Championship in Charlotte, North Carolina on top of Georgia Tech early. Big East Championship in New York. Seton Hall destroys Syracuse 103-70. In the Big 8 tournament at Kansas City, Missouri has advanced. What a shock. They win the tournament championship over Kansas State. And in the SEC, home-standing Kentucky winner in Lexington. Metro title goes to Louisville, also at home at Freedom Hall today. We're 10-8 here. Texas Tech by 2.
And you got Carrasco in the ballgame for Bo Outlaw.
Lenny Holly on the drive, knocked out by Drain, and Holly will chase it down. Outlaw picked up the offensive foul, immediately came out of the game. He and Clemens both scoreless so far. And that foul will be on Diaz for Houston, their second team foul.
Foul is charged number 34.
Matt Foster, you were saying normally this time of the game we'll think about changing defenses. He's forced 4 turnovers already.
Well, that's probably why he's going to stay with a man-to-man. But believe me, I think this is a defensive team, the Houston Cougars, that are better off in the zone. But they may catch Tech off guard by starting man-to-man.
Will Clemens has his first basket. In his 2 games against Outlaw, 16 for 22 from the field for Clemens, but Outlaw got him for 20 out of 24. So their offensive games overshadow their defensive game. Offensive foul. Diaz has quick foul difficulty back-to-back. He's got his first and second fouls with 14:39 still to go in the half.
That's a real good call. Usually the offensive player gets away with a lot of that. The defensive player who's done a good job gets penalized. But in that case, the call went the way it should go.
Carrasco fronting Clemens. Ball goes in. Shot won't drop. And Clemens may get his first as he went over the back of Jesse Drain for the rebound.
Clemens doesn't do that a lot. He doesn't make, that's kind of a mental mistake, really. You appreciate the effort, but there's no way you can get the ball when you're behind that guy. You need to take a jab step to the right or left and come up inside of him.
And you're talking about a guy who makes very few mental mistakes.
He does not make many mistakes. Oh, Hughes almost got in the passing lane again.
Diaz's three is short, picked up by Lance Hughes. Tech by 4. In a hurry, down to Brad Dale, who was 3 for 3 last night, and hits from 10 feet to make it a 6-point Texas Tech advantage.
Dale doesn't score much, Dave, but sometimes I think his contribution is underestimated by a lot of people. I don't think that's the case with the coaching staff.
Most good teams have a guy do what he does. The little stuff. Goldwire draws contact by Brad Dale, and now he has 2.
Boy, did Goldwire show some quickness there?
Number 35, Brad Dale, his second team's fifth.
He really exploded.
Lloyd Wiles, number 11, enters the lineup for the University of Houston, replacing
Houston getting Diaz out after the second foul, and Lloyd Wiles, sophomore from Houston, Westbury High School, his replacement. So a smaller, quicker backcourt right now for Pat Foster. Wiles looking for Drain, and the conference three-point percentage leader during the season can't get it. He was perfect on 3 tries last night. Houston with a scoring drought early, just 8 points in a little under 7 minutes. Holly came up short on the alley-oop for Flemings, and Houston ball. James Dickey getting his top 3-point shooter, Coy Smith, into the game. The NCAA women's regional pairings have been announced. The 3rd seed in the Midwest is the Texas Lady Longhorns. They play at Nacogdoches against the DePaul Louisiana Tech winner. West regional 2nd seed is the conference champion Texas Tech Lady Raiders, and they go out to Missoula, Montana for their game.
Congratulations to both of those fine teams and their coaches. Good luck in the NCAA tournament.
We still haven't seen anybody individually in this tournament come close to what Cheryl Swoops did in the women's tournament with 53 points, the gym record yesterday. Goldwire for 2. 14-10.
Well, Larry Bird came close. He had 50 here at Reunion Arena.
She told Flemings before their game last night, "Don't upstage me," and he couldn't. No one could. Sasser with the 3-pointer, and Texas Tech with its biggest lead.
Pat Foster's concerned that he would not be coming back with David Diaz with 2 fouls right now. He's more than a little concerned. Tech is playing very well, playing good defense, playing good offense, and they have momentum.
Wiles, good look inside. Derek Smith. Carrasco can't follow it down. And Smith and Wiles collide over by that Red Raider bench, and it's still Houston ball. Strong contingent of Tech fans making up the majority here at Reunion Arena, and they like what they've seen.
On Southwest Airlines, friends fly free for business, too. For example, if Dunn buys a ticket, Bradstreet flies free. Buy 1 round-trip ticket at Southwest Airlines' regular low unrestricted fare, and your friend flies with you, free. So if Bausch buys a ticket, Lom flies free. Or if Ben buys a ticket, Jerry flies free. Friends fly free for business. Only on Southwest Airlines. Just plain smart.
At La Quinta Inns, our most frequent guests are traveling salesmen. So we asked a few how they'd sell La Quinta.
So you're on the road a lot. Put in some long hours? Hey, I know how tough that can be. We really do earn our money, don't we? Okay, now where to stay? You consider La Quinta? They treat you good and the price is right. You care about money? Or do you just want to throw it away?
La Quinta. You're not staying at a hotel. You're staying with us.
Want to break a European's heart? Let him test drive a Buick Park Avenue Ultra for 2 weeks. Then take it away. You see, the Ultra, with its supercharged engine, luxury appointments, and Buick quality, is built in such limited quantities, it's just not available in Europe yet. Want to break a European's heart? Let him drive Ultra. Then take it away.
championship game is being brought to you by Kubota. Now, the younger of the two teams, Texas Tech, playing much freer and easier so far. They lead 17-10. The shooting has reflected that. They have frustrated Houston into 4 for 12 from the field. And the Red Raiders helped by 3 for 3 three-point shooting. Diaz again gets free and a back cut.
Yeah, that was a fine back cut. The defense tried to deny. Diaz immediately read the situation and went back door.
And Houston sets up full court pressure, and they immediately get dividends. Goldwire looks up, has Wiles from 15. Barely drew iron. Diaz was there and lost it to Flemings. And a reach-in foul on Wiles.
I'll tell you what, that was awfully touchy right there. I mean, there wasn't much of a foul committed.
Cougars try to jumpstart themselves with the press. Force one turnover. Almost another one here. But Coy Smith gets it to go. Freshman out of Hale Center, Texas. Southwest Conference freshman scoring leader. Had a little over 11 points per game. Well, why has Outlaw been out so long?
I think Pat Foster's trying to send a message. I think he's pretty unhappy with the way Outlaw started the ball game. I think he's trying to make sure that Outlaw gets focused, gets his concentration where it ought to be, and gets ready to play. He's coming back with Jesse Drain right now. Still hasn't come back with Outlaw, and Charles Bo Outlaw looks a little concerned on the bench. He's not happy.
Here's Drain back in. He replaces Wiles.
I'll tell you what, Pat Foster gets Outlaw mad enough. When he does come back, he's liable to jump right out of this place.
Always liable to do that at any moment. Left alone for three. Holly, first three-pointer missed by Tech. And Flemings tapped it up off the shot clock out of bounds. They've held him to 2. We mentioned in the regular season encounters, the centers went wild. I mean, they almost scored at will on each other. Outlaw's career game was in the last meeting, 28 points. And we've seen just the opposite so far. Almost nothing from inside.
Well, if you're going to play these two teams, that's one of the first things you have to do is take away Flemings and take away Outlaw inside. Outlaw, unfortunately, can't score from where he's sitting.
Rafael Carrasco, really a non-scorer. But he maneuvers inside on Flemings and can't finish after a nifty move to get a wide-open lay-in. 19-12 Tech. Diaz up fake, got free from Hughes. Derek Smith stops and fires in his first 2.
Keep your eye on the full court pressure. It's 2-2-1. They like to try and match if they can. I think Houston has gone to that simply to see if they can't break some of that continuity.
Hughes. His three-pointer picked up off the floor by Flemings. Will Flemings has Tech back up by 7. And Bob, it's a carryover. Houston with just 22 second-half points last night against Texas. They shot 27%. And in this first half, they're 33%.
I think it has a lot to do with the intensity. And as a result of that intensity, the defense is much better.
Well, the one change is this man, David Diaz, who was a non-factor because of the injury last night, is their entire offense so far.
Hey, look who's at the scorers table for Houston. Jermaine Johnson is coming into the game while Outlaw continues to sit on the bench.
Hughes got the follow. Jermaine Johnson, a seldom used freshman, ready to come in ahead of Outlaw. This is remarkable.
Yeah, it is.
Or if it's a message, it is being drilled home by Pat Foster. Anthony Goldwire, top shot over Flemings. Former junior college All-American at Pensacola, Florida. There's Johnson. Off the bench for some key moments in their win over Louisville. Lance Hughes. That's that inside-outside ability we talked about.
Yeah, that's a nice dish by Jason Sasser. Sasser getting ready to make a move, and he saw the open man coming down the lane.
Three-pointer way off Diaz. Sasser. all the way for his own pull-up jumper. Another Hughes rebound and another follow.
You are seeing a Texas Tech Red Raider basketball team that is on a roll.
Call me nuts, call me lazy. This kind of workout is just plain crazy. Don't fill me up with expectations. That's not what I want, no imitation. Fall in. Just give me what the doctor ordered. Dr. Pepper. Just what the doctor ordered. Just give me a Dr. Pepper. We want it. Whoa. Just what the doctor ordered. The taste that's made to water. We love it. Woo. Whoa. Just what the doctor ordered.
I needed fresh air. You know, the kind of fresh air Nike makes and Jerry Rice obviously knows where to find. The sort of fresh air Tim Hardaway definitely knows where to find. The very fresh air Brady Anderson without a doubt knows where to find. There's one place you can find all the fresh air you need. Foot Locker. The new Nike Air shoes. Super fresh air. At Foot Locker, where it all begins.
We know we see all the men you have to be, just how much you give, all the lives you live.
From Gillette Sensor Technology comes the Gillette Series. Shaving, aftershave, and deodorant products to help a man look, feel, and be his best. The Gillette Series. With Gillette Sensor, it's redefining men's grooming.
This telecast is a copyrighted presentation of Raycom Incorporated, the Southwest Conference, the University of Houston, and Texas Tech, and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or the use of the video or audio portions of this program without express prior written consent is forbidden. And Tech enjoying its biggest lead at 9 points, 27-18. Lance Hughes is the story, 6 of 7. 14 points and 4 rebounds already for the Georgetown sophomore. And Jermaine Johnson, the freshman center, comes in. Charles Outlaw has played all of 4 minutes. The Southwest Conference Player of the Year, pulled at that point by Pat Foster. We've not seen him since.
Jermaine Johnson inside. He did come off the bench against the Louisville Cardinals earlier in the year. Played awfully well late in the game.
Goldwire has 8. Nice move against Lenny Holly, who picks up his second. And the 16 foul, and he comes out replaced by Chad Collins.
There's Goldwire right here. He turns the corner, gets down the baseline where you don't want the offensive man to get. That's an easy shot. You certainly don't want to compound the problem by fouling the shooter in that situation, but that's what happened.
All but 2 of the Houston points from Goldwire and Diaz, the guards. Only Derek Smith has scored other than those 2. So by doing what he's done with Outlaw, is Foster looking beyond today to the NCAAs?
Oh, he has to be looking beyond today because Outlaw's a senior. He's not looking to next year. So it would definitely be a message that he's trying to get across to Outlaw. And I'm sure it has to do with intensity and concentration.
Jermaine Johnson never had the handle. Lloyd Wiles hit him with a pass in the low post. 7-minute mark of the first half. 27-21, Texas Tech. Baron Brown in off the bench, right to work with a 3-pointer. Brown is the man who took Alan Austin's minutes after Austin was ruled ineligible before the semifinals yesterday.
I'll tell you, if Tech goes home with this championship combined with the Lady Red Raiders winning the championship, Lubbock will be the place to be this week.
Rain lost it. Sasser picks it up, hits Brown. Blocking foul, Houston. Lloyd Wiles tried to draw the charge inside. It's his second.
That was charged to number 11, Lloyd Wiles, his second team fifth.
There's a frustrated basketball coach.
Number 54, Derek Smith, returns to the lineup, replacing
Wiles heading out, replaced by Derek Smith.
Look at this. He's down there talking to Outlaw right now. And he did more. He said more to him, Dave, than just get in the game.
Well, when they had that last time out, Outlaw wasn't in the huddle, wasn't in the discussion, had his sweats on. And you could tell mentally, it looked like he didn't expect to come back in this half at least. So he's back at the 6:29 mark. And Fleming's likewise back in. He replaces Sasser. So the center matchup that has been really nothing whatsoever so far. Fleming's has got 4, Outlaw nothing. We'll see if it becomes a factor.
James Dickey counters immediately. When Pat Foster puts Outlaw back in the game, he comes back with Fleming's right away. Fleming's obviously a strong body, carries a lot of weight, knows how to play Outlaw a little bit better than the younger players.
The 11-point Tech lead, their biggest. Diaz to the deck, reached back with that sore hand, kept it alive, got it off to Drain. Houston fans wanted a foul on Coy Smith. Goldwire looks inside for Drain. Big height advantage over the 6'5" Smith. Drain without a point after a career high last night. And Outlaw goes to work on Flemings, who holds him off.
Fleming's playing awfully well at both ends of the floor. He may not be scoring a lot, but he's playing well.
Smith out of the double. Brown. Lob inside. There's Flemings with position. And foul.
I still maintain that one of Fleming's greatest attributes is his hands. He has a very good pair of hands. He doesn't lose the ball very often inside. He handles those interior passes very well.
Loves this building, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Played well here over the years.
Last night, his 45th career double-double. 21 points, 11 rebounds. James Dickey will miss him. He has led them in every category except assists. That's all the shooting percentage categories, too. Including free throws, 74%.
And he's the leader of this Tech team. I mean, off the floor as well as on the floor. He's really a quality person.
Well, somebody has had to show by example the 3 freshmen how to do it at the college level. And he's been the guy.
I think when you have a senior like that has that kind of impact and influence on young players, really helps your program.
Outlaw is finally on the board. Took him almost 15 minutes. 33-23. Collins, sophomore. San Antonio MacArthur. Brown hit a 3, went for that one. To the deck. Brad Dale kept it alive, and Brown picked it up.
I'll tell you, the battle inside between Outlaw and Flemings is starting to heat up.
Aaron Brown as they continue to rest Lance Hughes. Smith, outstanding 3-point shooting freshman. Biggest lead yet for the Raiders, 13 points. They have Houston at 40% from the field. A frustrated 10 of 25. And Jesse Drain still scoreless.
Tech continues to put on offensive pressure. That's a nice move by Baron Brown.
Outlaw made the air ball possible. Brad Dale hits the offensive glass. Every aspect of this game, Tech is dominating right now.
They are really playing good basketball at the right time of the year. I have seen teams in past years get on this kind of a roll where they just do not think they can lose. They get to a point where they're playing with so much confidence. It's the right time to be doing that. James Dickey's done just a fabulous job, I think, coaching this team. He made those freshmen earn their spurs, too. He was bringing them off the bench for probably 6-7 weeks beginning the season.
You got Sasser, the most highly recruited Texas high school player last year, and didn't start him. I mean, a lot of freshmen would figure they immediately go into the lineup at Texas Tech. He didn't start him until the conference opener against SMU. Lenny Holly made him do his apprenticeship behind Colin Smith most of the year off the bench.
Funny thing is, a couple of people that were starting for Tech, they're not even on the squad anymore. Damon Ashley is one. Another one is Nate Jackson.
Now, they lost some people during the course of the year. Never look back. Dale out on the perimeter against Charles Outlaw with his 3rd personal and the team's 7th. Out he goes and back in is Sasser. Charles Outlaw just 53% from the foul line. The one still gaping hole in his game is free throw shooting. Added quite a bit to his offense except for at the line this year. And still Tech by 14, 37-23. The scoring drought that began last night for the Cougars has not ended. And Texas Tech came out with their fangs bared in this game. They have taken the fight to them from the opening half. Lob underneath, Flemons between Carrasco and Outlaw.
Awfully nice job by Tech of moving the basketball and getting it to the right person and away from the defense. When you pass it to someone, make sure you pass it away from the defense.
Outlaw just really crushed Collins with a pick, then rolled to the hoop. Didn't get it. Goldwire didn't get his 3. Outlaw out to Drain. And he double clutches and scores his first points.
Big time move there. You go on the baseline like that, can move the ball over in the air and still shoot it as well as he did. You're a pretty good player.
Jason Sasser on the roll. Tech by 16. 14-4 run to get him up 41-25. Diaz and called a blocking foul on Brown.
Whoa.
What a break. That would have been Diaz's 3rd.
Yeah, but that looked like pretty good defensive position to me. Baron Brown really contributing coming off the Tech bench. He's playing well.
Houston can't get the front end.
Tech actually going quite a bit of minutes here with a 3-guard offense. Got Brown, Collins, and then of course you got the freshman Smith in there.
Well, do you see any difference in Outlaw since he came back in?
Not a lot. I don't think Outlaw's into it for some reason. He just does not appear to be.
Bad pass, Carrasco. Blind, no look, didn't know where he was going. Collins all the way in. Flemons hustles and gets the follow.
You see all the white shirts down the floor? You didn't see any red shirts. I mean, that's the kind of effort that Tech is giving. They're literally outplaying, out-hustling a pretty good Houston team that evidently thought they had this one in the win column.
And their fans respond with a standing ovation. Outlaw off the lob. If you look for one play that exemplifies this first half, that last calorie charge by Tech would have to be it. And Outlaw with the steal, the bucket, and the foul by Collins.
Well, that ought to get him going a little bit. I think you just got to keep pounding the ball into Charles Outlaw. He got the big dunk, first of all. Watch this. That's a nice pass over the top of the defense. See, Flemons does not foul him. He doesn't commit the foul, doesn't want to be in foul trouble. Outlaw comes right back, gets the steal, deflects the pass, grabs it, goes up, scores again.
Well, that may be what he was looking for to get him into this game finally. That little flurry might do it. And the three-point play, 43-30, Tech's lead with a timeout and a minute 25 remaining in a near-perfect first half for Dickey's Raiders.
Serious times demand serious men.
Hard work is the reward for hard work.
Tenacity, gumption, discipline.
Sometimes you've got to stop and smell the pizza.
It's not that we're out to burst any balloons here. But the 1993 Buick Skylark comes with something as standard equipment that's optional on practically every import in Skylark's class. Anti-lock brakes, When you add up the cost of the car, that could save you almost $1,000. That could, of course, also help save you your life.
In Odessa, a remodeled kitchen turned into the McLaren's new family room. In Corpus Christi, a new minivan made the halls a little more popular with their friends. And in Austin, an additional room allowed Mark Gonzalez to put his father in the best possible home, his own. Nations Bank loan specialists have helped people all across Texas with loans for home improvements, loan refinancing, and car loans. Come see how Nations Bank can give you the power to make a difference in your life.
Hey, Southwest Conference fans, take the Gillette 3-point challenge. Click the coupon in today's paper and go to a participating retailer to see if you want a shot at $1 million. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
I do want a shot at $1 million.
You are void.
Oh, come on.
You are prohibited. Diaz and Goldwire have kept Houston as close as they are, which isn't all that close. They're down 13. And Tech has been able to build this lead while resting Lance Hughes, who has been their scoring leader with 14 points. Cougars come with a full court pressure. Holly beats it. Threw it over the top to Smith. Sasser stepped out of bounds.
You see, now that's a result of the pressure. That mistake is not made if Houston's not in full court pressure. You don't always judge the pressure by whether or not you steal the ball. You force that turnover. They got the ball back. Houston making a move. I would think it would be a job well done if they got it under 10 by halftime, Dave.
Goldwire, an air ball from about 4 feet. And Tech looking to push it every time off a miss. Smith, three-pointer. Jermaine Johnson back in for Pat Foster. He replaced Carrasco at the last time out. Baseline maneuver, nicely done. Lloyd Wiles.
If I'm Tech, I hold it for one shot right now. I'm not going to give it back to him.
Wiles reaches in against Hughes, commits his third personal. And not all that much time off the bench in this first half. 31.6 seconds. If the Cougars somehow can get it within single digits by halftime, is that much of a mental advantage for them after trailing as much as they have by as many as 18?
I think they have a mental advantage right now going to the locker room because of being down 18 and having cut this lead to 11 right now, subject to what happens here on these free throws. But a little bit of a comeback has really helped this Cougar team, I think. Yeah, now they got a chance to get it to 9. So momentum going to the locker room with Houston, even though they will be trailing by 9, 10, or 11 points.
Shot clock turned off. Goldwire waiting probably 6, 7 more seconds before going to work on Lenny Holly for good. Pull-up jumper, short again, knocked out. Hughes has time. Foot race with Wiles. Hughes with 2 seconds to spare has given Texas Tech a 13-point halftime lead. Lance Hughes, who sat out Houston's 17-point win at Hofheinz with a groin pull, and has his return made a difference. Red Raiders dominating the Cougars at halftime. The Southwest Conference Championship game on Raycom is being brought to you by Buick, by Pizza Hut, by Southwest Airlines, and by the Texas Lottery.
It's tough to keep ahead of the competition. You gotta move fast to stay on top. You need two-day priority mail. In 2 days, we deliver 2 pounds for only $2.90. If the competition's new rates are just too much, visit your post office to send 2-day priority mail or call 1-800-USPS for your free starter kit.
We deliver for you.
Lexus ES 300 features a very advanced suspension system that helps it maintain excellent straight-line stability as speed increases, or even as it decreases.
Hey there, listen up. Education is money well spent, but refreshment is far more excellent. To fill me up with expectations, I got what I want, no imitations. School days! Ow! Just get on to what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. Give me a Dr. Pepper. We want it! Just what the doctor ordered. The taste is better than water. We love it! I love it. Everybody's loving it.
Scratching, scratching, scratching. Keep scratching, scratching, scratching. Soon you will be cashing your ticket if it's matching Roundup. If 3 out of 8 are matching, then you can stop your scratching. That $3,000 could be yours. Try your luck. Play a buck. Take it all. Scratch it all. Scratch a buck. Take it back. Turn it in. Texas Cash Roundup.
It was the reputation of the University of Houston basketball team that first attracted Rafael Carrasco of Colombia.
What caught my eye the most was the tradition of the Phi Slamma Jamma in the early 80s.
But that wasn't all.
That it had a very good business school, and it presented the opportunity to do internships with some of the best companies in the world.
For Rafael, who wants an international marketing career, the University of Houston is a slam dunk. A degree from the University of Houston keeps you in the game.
Many people assume that Texas Tech has strong programs in technology. We do. Our faculty are known worldwide for their work in lasers, disaster research, and computers. But Texas Tech is also the Health Sciences Center, improving medical care in West Texas. And Texas Tech is law and business and agriculture and more than 150 other fields from the arts to zoology. At Texas Tech, our horizons are unlimited.
What a performance by Texas Tech, 45-32 after leading by as many as 18 points in the first half. Dave Barnett and Bob Orta back with you from Reunion Arena. As much as I hate to do this, I'm going to give you some credit because you called this. You saw this coming from Texas Tech's performance yesterday.
Well, they're just playing with so much confidence. Anytime you have a team and you have 3 talented freshmen and all of a sudden you see maturity in their eyes, the way in which they walk, they're very confident. You add that to Will Flemons, an outstanding senior, and then you throw in a guy like Lance Hughes, who's a very talented sophomore. I mean, Lance Hughes can do a lot of things. This is a club that's on a roll. Be careful. This team's going to win some games.
Lance Hughes almost perfect in the first half. A couple of early threes got him going. He's 7 of 8, 16 points at halftime.
Well, he does so many things. The thing he does best is he plays hard night in and night out. He can shoot the ball outside, as you just saw right there. He hits the three-pointer. This time, the guy just runs the floor real well. You see Holly. That's him on a slam dunk after a steal. He, too, is one of those freshmen that's so very, very talented. It's Collins with the basketball right here, trying to get inside. Will Flemons, offensive rebound using the left hand, a very talented inside player. Great pair of hands. Houston goes down low to Bo Outlaw. We all know what he can do. He does that better than maybe anybody in the country. And the guy came right back with a steal following that. Stole the ball, got another layup.
Texas Tech 1/2 away from a Cinderella berth in the NCAA tournament.
In Fort Worth, a new pickup helped the Dixons turn weekend projects into profits. In Tyler, we helped the Mitchells put down roots in their neighborhood. And in Wichita Falls, a hatchback allowed Deborah Carver's son to start college with more than just new towels. Nations Bank loan specialists have helped people all across Texas with car loans, loan refinancing, and loans for home improvements. Come see how Nations Bank can give you the power to make a difference in your life.
What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for us individuals, AT&T introduces the iPlan, long distance that fits the way you live, because it's based on your life. I is for calling plans without complications, people who speak your language, and doing things that used to be impossible from almost anywhere on Earth. Imagine having your own iPlan. I is for individual, only from AT&T.
At La Quinta Inns, our most frequent guests are traveling salesmen. So we asked a few how they'd sell La Quinta.
I want to give you the key to this room, because I know you're a smart guy. Sure, you could find a cheap hotel with rooms the size of a shoebox, or some luxury palace with the chandeliers in the bathrooms. How about a hotel that treats you as well as you treat your clients? And easy on the wallet. Take this key. You owe it to yourself.
La Quinta. You're not staying at a hotel. You're staying with us.
The new G Series with 4-wheel steering from Kubota.
You hear people say all the time, it's a free ride. You know, oh, an athlete's on a free ride. Well, I think that if you took those people and put them in one day of our lives and showed them, you know, not only is it basketball practice, they don't realize how physically demanding that is on your body, as well as studying. If you have a test the next day, you know, people say, well, I'll just pull an all-nighter. Well, they can't imagine if you try to pull an all-nighter and then get up and go to class and take your test and then have to go practice. You can't just go back and get in bed and sleep those hours that you spent studying. You have to practice. So you can't ever catch up. If you ever get behind, you're not going to catch up for a while.
The Universities of the Southwest Conference. We are educating today's young people to be America's leaders of tomorrow.
If it weren't for your investment in higher education, there might never be a veterinarian named Elena Aguilar. Art school might never be more than a dream for Derek Johnson. And James Lee Mitchell's best ideas might never take shape.
The Universities of the Southwest Conference. Without us, Texas is out of the game.
Today's championship game is being brought to you by La Quinta. It's halftime, and we'll return to Reunion Arena after these messages from your local station. This is the Raycom Network.
It happens every morning in London, Paris, and Madrid. Just as the city starts to stir. In Munich, Manchester, Zurich, and Brussels, just as the business day begins. In 13 European cities in 9 different countries, as the new day arrives, so do we. American Airlines. With over 200 non-stop flights a week to Europe, from cities across the U.S. So if you have business in Europe, fly there on the airline that can get you to your business as early as tomorrow morning. American Airlines, something special to Europe.
When cars are called luxury sedans, what does that mean? Leather appointments? Absolutely. Dual airbags, wood trim? Mandatory. You gotta have a CD player and power sunroof. But you know what? On most luxury sedans, these features cost extra. Not the Infiniti J30. They're all standard. See, Infiniti thinks when you buy a luxury car, the luxury shouldn't be optional.
Tech leads Houston by 13 at halftime. Our Dr. Pepper roundup of other scores around the nation. In the Big East Championship, Seton Hall destroys Syracuse 103-70. ACC title Georgia Tech over top-ranked North Carolina at the half by 4. Tech already has upset Duke in that tournament. Big 8 in Kansas City. Missouri advances 68-56 over K-State. SEC Kentucky wins it at home 82-65 over LSU. Metro title goes to Louisville at Louisville. Big West Championship later, New Mexico State and Long Beach State, which knocked off UNLV last night. Big Ten regular season, Indiana over Wisconsin, Ohio State over Purdue. And here it's the Raiders by 13. Now it's time for Schick's Super Hoops, the largest, most exciting 3-on-3 tournament in the country.
Every year for 9 years, Schick has brought to college campuses the world's toughest half-court 3-on-3 intramural tournament. Playing nice now.
Okay, split left, Liz, 088 on white. Ready? 330! 330! Tight one, tight
At La Quinta Inns, our most frequent guests are traveling salesmen. So we asked a few how they'd sell La Quinta.
You look like a person on the go, am I right? You're a VIP kind of guy, am I right? You don't have time for some fancy-smancy breakfast, am I right? At La Quinta, they've customized a free continental breakfast for busy guys like yourself. In fact, this blueberry muffin was baked with you in mind.
La Quinta, you're not staying at a hotel, you're staying with us.
If you're planning to fly from over here to over there, then you should know that only one U.S. airline flies you to the most cities, from over here to over there. And since that one and only airline is Delta, you know you'll be getting the best service in the sky on your way over there. On Delta, you're #1 at DFW and all around the world.
As times changed, so did the Ford full-size pickup. But it was always one tough truck, and boy, could it haul a load. Today, it's still tough, but it's designed to ride better. It has more style, more comfort, and boy, can it haul a load. Times change, trucks change, but Ford Tough never does.
The Southwest Conference Championship game on Raycom is being brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper, by Ford and your local Ford dealers, by AT&T, and by Schick. Texas Tech writes 16 points from Lance Hughes to a 45-32 halftime lead over Houston. Our Gillette halftime stats: Red Raiders shooting 56% from the field, including 5 of 9 3-pointers, and Houston just 42%, 0 for 6 from three-point range. And a huge rebound edge as well for Tech, out hustling them all over the floor. 22-13. Clemens leads with 7 boards, 10-2 in fast break points. Another advantage for the Red Raiders. Individually, Hughes, as we said, near perfect, 7 of 8, a couple of threes. Clemens 9 and 3 players each with 5. Houston has only one scorer in double figures, and it's the guy they were worried about, David Diaz, who has shaken off that swollen right hand to shoot 5 of 8 for 10 points. Goldwire 9, and Outlaw, who sat so much in that first half, sat half of it. In fact, he played 10 minutes and came back and managed 7 points. Here's the Ford keys for the second half of the game.
For the University of Houston, they're going to have to get some help off of that bench in the form of Carrasco Wiles and Jermaine Johnson. And they're going to have to take away Tech's threes. Tech had made 19 of 41, Dave, coming in the first 2 games, and they made 5 of 9 in the first half. For Texas Tech, long rebounds. When you take a lot of shots outside, there are going to be a lot of long rebounds, and not going to be a lot of shots inside because of Outlaw. And then Tech needs to get some easy baskets. They did that in the first half, had a couple of dunks, were able to get into transition. They must continue.
Well, I wonder if what Foster said at halftime was as much about emotional concerns as it was X and O concerns.
I would have to indicate from a coaching standpoint that I'll bet it was.
Clemens and Sasser back and forth on the run. Clemens almost goaltended by Outlaw. He gets up incredibly quickly, and Sasser finally gets it down. I don't think it was goaltending, but Any other human being, it probably would have been, because they would have gotten up and gotten it off the glass. He got it before it got to the glass.
There's a difference between being a good jumper and being a good quick jumper. Outlaw not only jumps well, but he jumps quickly. He's able to elevate just about as quick as you're going to find anyone get up off the floor.
Derek Smith, just 2 points so far, and again, the Red Raiders first to the rebound. Jason Sasser all the way. Taken down by Jesse Drain. Dinky at halftime probably said what? Just more of the same. What would he want to change? Nothing.
Well, I'm sure that he was talking about the man-to-man defense. I don't think there's any question about that. It's the defense that has enabled Tech to have this lead. They certainly have played well offensively. You got to put the ball in the hole to win, but they have been outstanding on defense.
Rain traveled. That's Houston's 8th turnover. Lance Hughes double clutches into a block by Outlaw.
You notice
Outlaw has come up lame. He reached for his right knee as he came down after blocking that shot.
You notice how much more aggressive he becomes in the second half in terms of blocking shots. He follows a pattern like that. This is the second half, and this is Bo Outlaw. Look, there's no way that shot's even going to get close to getting up in the air.
Well, he landed mostly on his left leg, but he hurt his right leg. Tom Wilson, the Houston trainer, over for a look as Rafael Carrasco comes in and can't get the hook to fall. Tough shooting day for Carrasco. 0 for 4. Long pass to Hughes, who was 7 out of 9.
You see, we're back to one of those forward keys of the game right now, because Carrasco off the bench has got to give some help inside.
Boy, these Tech freshmen have come so far with their maturity. That's 11 for Flemons and a 17-point lead.
There is a point there, though, Dave. They're not freshmen anymore. They're veterans now. They've been playing all year. And, you know, another good point, people say, well, they're freshmen in a championship game. Don't forget, this is Tech's 3rd championship game this year. They played in the championship of 2 other tournaments, a tournament in Montana and a tournament in Wyoming.
Carrasco got his first points. They leave Holly alone for the 3.
A real nice blend of talent. Texas Tech, really, they complement one another at all positions, and then they bring a couple people in off the bench that contribute.
And they're going for it. Holly went for the steal that time. Time to gamble. Jesse Drain still just 2 points.
Look at here.
Sasser beats everybody up the floor. Goldwire reached in, knocked it off, and then Derek Smith reached in and committed the foul, his 3rd.
Pat Foster down talking to Bo Outlaw, and he's going to come back in the ball game.
Well, for them to have any hope of coming back, this had to happen, and he comes back in without the trace of a limp. Thankfully for the Cougars, and replaces Smith. Smith averages 10.5. He's got 2. Drain averages 11. He has 2. When they are held under a combined 25 points, Houston is an average team. They're 8-7 in those games. When they score more than 25 together, they're unbeatable. They're 13-0 when they get that kind of output from Smith and Drain. And most people don't focus on them. You look at Houston, you think about Outlaw and Diaz.
Jesse Drain is going to be just an outstanding player. But the reason those people are having problems today is because Tech is doing a good job defensively.
And they have their biggest lead of the day at 20 points. Diaz and Outlaw.
And they go to full court pressure. This is what Houston has to do, I think. It really helped them in the first half. Let's see if it does here in the second.
Almost stolen by Goldwire. Had an open court ahead of him. Hughes not quite for the 3. Sasser possessed on the boards this half. 8 rebounds for the day. Tech out rebounding Houston by 13 boards.
Pretty good defensive position by Bo Outlaw that time.
Lance Hughes.
Oh, is he tough?
18 points. He'd be a tough guy to guard because he's so herky-jerky. Goldwire long to Holly. Sasser running up. Holly didn't quite see him in time.
I mean, everybody for Tech is running. Everybody.
James Dickey running almost out on the floor to applaud his team's effort. He is beside himself with pride at what he is seeing his young team do. Dismantle a 21-game winning team. That hell ball possession goes over to the Red Raiders after a timeout with 15:21 remaining in the game, and Tech is running the Cougars off the floor. We'll be back after this from Schick.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
Ask anyone who's driven a Ford lately. Ask them why Taurus is the best-selling car in America. Why F-Series is the best-selling truck in America. In fact, ask them why 5 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America are Fords. Ask and they'll tell you. Quality breeds success. Have you driven a Ford lately? It's more than just a question. It's an answer.
He got off of the bus at the border, went up, drove the woman with the rose tattoo. She offered him a ride, and when he got inside, she offered him something new. A steak burrito supreme from Taco Bell. She insisted that he try it. And a new zesty steak melt from Taco Bell. He had never had nothing like it. And when he tried the steak soft taco, all of a sudden he knew that he'd always be indebted for the rest of his life to the woman with the rose tattoo.
Today's championship game is being brought to you by Armor All. Pretty noises all over Union Arena if you're a Texas Tech fan. Their team up by 22 points, 58-36, with 15:21 to play.
Dave, the Texas Longhorns probably took a little bit more out of Houston last night in what was a very aggressive, physical basketball game than maybe Houston realized.
Brad Dale tries to get into the act, and another Tech rebound. They're getting every rebound right now.
And there's Hughes again. Holy cow, is he pumped up.
His third three-pointer, his 21st point. And we're not close to being done.
As you mentioned, 3 three-pointers. He's had a dunk. He's had a steal. He drives to the basket. He's hit mid-range jump shots.
And that still belongs to Houston. Well, his absence in the first half just set the tone for the Cougars. Foster not happy with what he saw. Inbounds pass thrown away to Holly.
Nice decision by Holly. Good decision.
Dale alone. Outlaw with his 6th board.
Boy, I mean, James Dickey is livid. He is, I think, really unhappy about that shot. Look at there.
Sasser. Only Goldwire back. Dale. Goldwire reached in and commits his first foul, so he stops the 3-on-1 however he can. Indiana with a, I guess, surprisingly close win over a pretty good Wisconsin team at Madison. First foul on Goldwire. Just so much you can do in his position. The guys aren't putting shots down. He's gotten them some open shots and just haven't fallen.
Well, Foster's been trying to get the right combination on the floor. He's been juggling the 5 people out there playing throughout this game. Dave, I'm going to back up. I'm going to second guess just a little bit. I think when you play that zone as well as Houston plays it, they came out and started man-to-man. it may have taken them away from their strength, away from something that that they do pretty well.
Well, they forced 4 quick turnovers. And we thought maybe that's why they stay in, because it had been affected. But really hard to narrow down 1 or 2 things that sent this thing going the wrong way for them, because everything has been a factor. Hughes to the deck. Kind of a human floor burn kind of guy. Lance Hughes' first foul of the day.
Watch Dickey go down. Yeah. He's going right down. Talk to Brad Dale about that jump shot he took out the baseline.
And Dale, a very intelligent guy, already knows it. He knew it before Dickey even brought up the subject.
He knew it when he let it go.
Cougars hit the offensive glass hard, and Diaz gets his first points of the half. 12 for the game for David Diaz. And almost stolen by Goldwire. Baron Brown in.
That's what James Dickey wanted right there. You want to be a little bit careful when you go to that style. You start to run a little bit of the clock, but you don't lose that momentum and that aggressiveness.
Well, 13 and a half minutes to go up by 24. Even if you start to lose the momentum, if you make these possessions last this long, there's only so much Houston could do in the time allotted. And Will Flemings draws contact inside by Outlaw, his second.
Interesting comment I heard the other day. Flemings has another semester or 2 semesters to finish up school and a year of eligibility left. Might be a pretty good tight end. What do you think? He's used up his 4 years in basketball. He's got great hands.
Spike Dykes would love it. Another double-double. Set the tournament rebounding record, actually tied the record with 19. All-conference first team includes Flemings, last year's player of the year, unanimously selected along with Outlaw and Mike Wilson of SMU. Marvin Moore, fine shooting guard from Rice, and Baylor's Alex Holcomb. Good year for those big men in the conference. Now 15 for Will Flemings. Peck has made it a 26-point lead. They have doubled their halftime margin of 13 in just a span of 7 minutes. Holly pulls up, open for 3 and short. Cougars break out 4-on-2. And Goldwire scores. Just 8 points by Houston in this half. Beck keeping the rhythm hot. All alone, 3-pointer Brown. Goldwire sees Flemings up, makes him commit, and then Outlaw has to try twice to get the jam down.
He's lucky he got that one back. He missed the first dunk, but he responded very quickly. Got the second one.
Usually he misses a dunk. It's out to midcourt. 3-on-1. Sasser a little out of control, but Flemings was there. 66-42.
Pat Foster wanted to charge at the other end of the floor. Speaking of charge, Houston is trying to mount a charge, but
Jason Sasser whistled for the foul, his second, team second. Boy, how much more confident he looks. Really all the freshmen, but you really see it in Sasser as the season has gone on. Getting the most of his talents. Long day for Pat Foster in Houston.
In Odessa, a remodeled kitchen turned into the McLaren's new family room. In Corpus Christi, a new minivan made the halls a little more popular with their friends. And in Austin, an additional room allowed Mark Gonzalez to put his father in the best possible home, his own. Nations Bank loan specialists have helped people all across Texas with loans for home improvements, loan refinancing, and car loans. Come see how Nations Bank can give you the power to make a difference in your life.
Serious times demand serious men.
Hard work is the reward for hard work.
Tenacity, gumption, discipline.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
Well, Texas Tech in such command of this game. Assuming they go on and they win it, they get the automatic berth. Houston has been mentioned in every mock 64-team bracket as being in regardless, with the 21-7, maybe 21-8 record. And then SMU has made their case. They say, what is the regular season for? If you win the regular season, you win 20, and you stumble once in your tournament, but it doesn't get you into the NCAA. So what do you think? Maybe 3 out of this conference that Tech hangs on here.
Well, I think that SMU does have a chance, but I don't know whether that's realistic or not, because had they at least gotten into the semis, I think their chance would have been much better. But to lose in the quarterfinals, that will really hurt them, I believe.
Wins by people like LSU and Missouri in their tournaments have hurt them, too.
I think that, I believe they belong in the NCAA tournament, but see, we know them better than a lot of people around the country do, and that will be a factor.
Foul in that scramble. Lenny Holly's third for Tech. And team foul number 3. We want to say hello and wish a speedy recovery to the Texas Tech Sports Information Office Secretary Sheila Tucker, watching in the hospital in Lubbock. She's recovering from an auto accident, and I bet feels a lot better right this minute, but we hope Sheila gets a lot better faster.
Well, Sheila, you got a chance at having 2 teams come home with championships. One's already there, and the other one's getting close.
The only time that's happened, one school winning the men's and the women's championships. Arkansas did it 2 years ago. Tech 11 minutes away from repeating that feat. Up 22, knocked out by Wild.
Now you take a look at Tech right now. Now they really are beginning to become a little bit less aggressive at the offensive end of the floor, trying to eat up a little clock. I know what James Dickey wants them to do, but you want to be sure the players understand you still want them to be aggressive. There's a turnover.
Well, he's due a mistake. He had made many today. 10th Texas Tech turnover. Houston also with 10. And Goldwire again tipped in by Outlaw. Outlaw rolling up some numbers now. 15 points and 9 rebounds.
Well, he sat out about 10 minutes in the first half, didn't he?
Exactly 10 minutes. This was still a game late first half. Houston had a chance to cut it down to single digits and trail by 13 at the half, and Texas Tech has not looked back in the first 10 minutes of this half.
Yeah, Anthony Goldwire had 2 close-in shots late in the first half, and he did not capitalize on that. That's a great timeout by James Dickey, but I think that what he has done in terms of trying to be more deliberate with his offense has resulted in the turnovers.
They still lead by 20 midway second half here at Reunion.
Ford trucks, the best, never rest.
That's right. Only Ford Truck offers driver airbags in both mini and full-size vans. But there's a lot more to safety than that.
That's why Ford not only designs and builds trucks to meet or exceed federal crash test requirements, we also do special safety testing of our own.
We do what the government says, and a lot more.
The best-built, best-selling American trucks are built Ford tough.
Scratching, scratching, scratching. Keep scratching, scratching, scratching. Soon you will be cashing your ticket if it's matching Roundup. If 3 out of 8 are matching, then you can stop your scratching. That $3,000 could be yours. Try your luck. Play a buck. Take it home. Scratch it off. Match a buck. Take it back. Turn it in. Texas Cash Roundup.
When it's this hot outside,
You know how hot it is inside. That's why you need Armor All, the world's leading protectant. No matter how hot it gets or how cold, Armor All helps keep your dash looking new. We're so sure about it, we guarantee it. If your new dash ever cracks, we'll replace it. Guaranteed. There is a fountain of youth, and we guarantee it. Armor All. Don't take chances.
Well, James Dickey calls timeout. Team getting a little bit sloppy. They're out of their rhythm because they're trying to take time off the clock rather than keep the tempo as hot as it was when they were building that lead.
Yeah, I don't think he's told his players not to shoot the ball, but he has asked them not to shoot it quickly.
Two winningest teams in the history of this tournament, Houston and Tech. 17 years they have combined for 8 of those first 17 titles. And they'll make it half of the championships in this 18th year.
See, now, once again, you got an example there of Tech has not been playing that way. Now they commit a foul that is costly at this point. That's 4 team fouls on Texas Tech.
And 4 on Brad Dale. Anthony Goldwire trying to take more on his shoulders.
Yeah, he has tried to do that.
Tech fans wanted a foul in the scramble. Goldwire shooting just 4 for 13. Jesse Drain 1 for 7. He had 21 last night and has not been here. Boy Smith rejected. Outlaw got a piece. Comes down to Holly. And I think they say he stepped out.
Now the Texas Tech bench was trying to help out. You see Holly get inside. No way he's going to get that shot off. Bo Outlaw gets a piece of that one.
Breakneck drive by Diaz and a 3-point opportunity. 18 is the margin, 66-48. And Diaz, pretty gutty performance, has 14 points.
And Houston's really making a charge right now. James Dickey's got his head in his hands over there. He's thinking about it. You better believe he's concerned, because right now Houston's doing a lot of good things.
Derek Smith replacing Carrasco. The foul was on Jason Sasser. Now he has 3.
Houston has received its wake-up call. A little late, but they did get it.
Better late than not at all. 9:18. That's huge.
Now, see, that's what they were doing early. They played most of the game that way. They were aggressive, being creative, taking good shots when they were there. I think they need to continue to play that way.
If they do, if they keep building this margin, think of the confidence they're going to take into the NCAA tournament. They'll have it, but they can have a lot more if they win this thing by 25 or 30, and they are within their realm of possibility in doing that. First 3-pointer by Drain. 68-52. Cougars trying to get one last burst together, and Lenny Holly is fouled by Diaz, his 3rd.
The other factor that's in Houston's favor is they've got a couple of people on either wing, and Diaz and Jesse Drain. They can play them on opposite sides of the floor. They can shoot that 3, and they have the size to get up over the top of a lot of defenders and shoot it.
Houston's run is 14-4 over the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Brad Foster, a fixture in postseason basketball. 6 years before this, he has had him in the NCAAs 3 times and the NIT twice.
And one other interesting thing, both of these head coaches were assistant coaches at the University of Arkansas.
Yeah, both out of the Eddie Sutton coaching brand. And going on to major success in their own programs. Boy Smith threw that one away. Foster winning 20 this year for the 3rd time in 4 years. Dickey has Tech's record, the best it's been in 7 years. 1986, also the last time they were in a final and the last time they won this tournament. And they did it out of the 5th seed, exactly as they're doing here. With a pretty good guard wearing number 4, carrying them. That's Goldwire. Lance Hughes picking up in Bubba Jennings tradition.
I've heard a lot about Bubba Jennings over the years since I've been in Texas. He must have been a heck of a player.
Smith for three.
You see now, he didn't hesitate. He didn't wait. The shot was there, so he took it. I think Tech has to continue to play that way because momentum right now is on the side of Houston.
They had it down to 14 from 26. Holly with the steal up to Hughes and the 3-on-1 against Ray.
I should have given it up. He scored, but the right play would have been to give that one up and get it back.
First get it into the middle.
Yeah, if you could get it there. Well, in a 2-on-1 situation, your odds are better 2-on-1 than they are 3-on-1.
Diaz stays after Goldwire's miss and has 17. Lead 17 points. 7:12 remaining. We thought Diaz might really be limited today. That right hand looks like he's got a golf ball stuck under the skin. It has not slowed him down one bit. Tech back to firing when they see the open shot. Air ball, and it works like an alley-oop to Sasser.
Sasser has played very well in this tournament. He's come home to Dallas and made up his mind. We're going to win a championship. He's done a lot of good things.
Goldwire missed the three-pointer. Lance Hughes draws the blocking foul, and that should be 4 on Derek Smith. You saw North Carolina just edging in front of Georgia Tech, which has been as shocking a team in any of these conference tournaments around the country.
I can't believe the upsets that we've seen the past 3 days. How about the upsets we've seen right here? First day of this tournament, you get 3 upsets. I don't know that that Tech's win over Baylor was an upset, but Baylor did win the regular conference games, both of them. One in 1 overtime, the other one in 2 overtimes over Tech. You talk about a program that's come a long way in 1 year. Darrell Johnson has done an outstanding job with the Baylor Bear program. They're going to be a much improved team in the next couple of years. They were much improved this year.
Lance Hughes now with 25 points. And on, back up by 21 now. 27 for Hughes with the free throw, 77-56. Lloyd Wiles for 3. Houston has 1 3-point bucket, and that was that one that Drain hit a couple of minutes back. As big a key as any, Tech's early ability to hit the 3-pointers. Well, they can replace Flemings. They've got the 3 freshmen and Hughes, who's just a sophomore. Most of their rotation back. Houston looks for a great recruiting year. They lose Outlaw and Diaz, but they've got people back as well. Texas expects to have, in Tom Pender's words, the best team he has ever had at Texas.
It's quite a statement.
Baylor gets better next year. Clemens swatted back by Outlaw. And they say goaltending. Well, he got up so fast, I don't know how that could have been goaltending. Let's see.
Really does it well. Let's check it out. Sasser pass to Flemings. I'll tell you what, those calls are tough to make.
That looked on the way up.
Calls are tough to make.
Not that it really matters at this point. Tech hustling as hard as ever. Even up 23. Boy Smith from Hughes. Dickey called that timeout. I don't know if he specifically said go back to what you were doing, but that's what they are doing, and that is why they built it back up to 25 points. No basket, foul out on the perimeter.
Well, the good thing that Dickey did was, I think he sensed the same thing I did, because he immediately took that timeout when Houston started to gain some momentum. Tech made some mental mistakes. They probably were trying to do what Dickey had suggested. He didn't want them not to be aggressive, though. He just wanted them not to take a shot after one pass in the front court. You know, work the ball a little bit. Let's get some movement, then take the shot.
Way behind the line for Diaz. His first 3-pointer. Member of the Venezuelan Olympic team. He's had a long stretch of basketball without many breaks in there. 81-59 Tech.
Well, we need to say something about the fine job that Holly has done at the point guard spot against full court pressure for about 3/4 of this game.
That shot goes. It almost did. Almost got it. Foul by Daryl Grayson.
Foul is charged number 43, Daryl Grayson, his first.
Texas Tech, when they get this far, they know what to do. Mark of Gerald Meyer's teams peaking at the right time. He took them to 3 finals and won them all, but the most recent one was 7 years ago. And Houston, with a chance today, had they won, to tie Arkansas with 6 postseason championships. But they made the finals for the 3rd time in 4 years. Won it last year by 19 over Texas. It's a long time since we've had a close game in the final. Most of them been just like this one. He was double close. You heard him say will, but he had already thrown it away by the time he yelled at Clemens.
Good example of not jumping in the air to pass. You jump in the air to shoot the ball. You can adjust to the pass, but you never jump in the air to pass because then it's so very difficult to adjust to the shot.
Daryl Grayson playing his last regular Southwest Conference game. Outgoing senior, Tupelo, Mississippi. One of 4 seniors. So Houston will lose quite a bit of experience, as we mentioned. Outlaw, Diaz, Smith, 3 of their starters, and Grayson.
But Pat Foster always seems to come up with something. Year in and year out, he did it at Lamar. He's done it at Houston. He got a lane violation there.
Lane violation charged against Houston.
So Texas Tech ball. As we near 4 minutes remaining. Has to be Tech's best performance of the year. Their biggest win of the year was their first meeting with the Cougars back on January 26, because Houston had just made the top 25. They had an 11-2 mark at that time. And they went out there and lost to the Raiders 78-74. That kicked them off on a 4-game losing streak. They recovered and had won 10 of 11 coming into this whitewash today.
Ford makes it easy to buy a new Escort by offering these 4 LX models, all equipped with these great features for one low price. And now we're also offering an easy 2-year lease for just $199 a month. That's your choice of 4 well-equipped Escorts for just $199 a month. Ford Escort. Now it's easier than ever to buy or lease America's most popular small car.
If you're printing to the LPT1, try printing to the LPT1.
C:\Windows.
The device command in this example sets up the HIM.
Oops. What did I do?
I don't know. Page
What are you
99.
guys doing? You've been fooling with that thing for 3 days now.
Making it easy to use.
So we'll be more productive.
If it is productive much longer, we'll go out of business.
If you want a computer that's easy to use, there's still only one way to go.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving.
Let's look at our Schick game tracer. Texas Tech excelling everywhere, especially 3-point shooting. 8-2, their advantage in threes. Hughes got that started. He is 11 for 14. His first 2 shots were long 3-pointers, and that set the tone for his day. And Clemens has had another huge game. His 46th career double-double.
That's one thing to have a double-double and get 10 and 12. It's another thing to have a double-double and get 19 and 16. He may end up getting 20-some points and close to 20 boards against a Houston team that has some big people.
Biggest team in the conference they're doing this against. Out of bounds. Back over to Houston. Clemens tied the tournament record Friday with 19 rebounds against Baylor. It tied Rick Bullock's record, another former Texas Tech center. Jermaine Johnson checking in. Played a little in the first half while Outlaw was sitting. Eric Smith, three-pointer. And Grayson. And a foul on Flemings. His second.
You see James Dickey telling him right there,
Look
box
at that.
out.
Look at that. #1 team playing at Charlotte, trailing by 6 in the second half.
Well, postseason tournament play. Things do happen.
Things get weird. And 1 of 2 for Darrell Grayson. Now Tech looking more willing to run time, although it kind of backfired on them last time they went to this pull it out and pass strategy. They let Houston come back within 14 points when they did.
Yeah, but the time of the game is different now.
Grayson off the steal from Holly all the way through.
Very good hands by Grayson. Good quick move.
Tech will win its 6th in the last 7 out of the last 9, peaking right when they want to go to 18-11 for the year. 2 more for Flemings. 21 points.
He does such a nice job protecting the ball with his body.
Diaz way out for the three-pointer. Amazing how fresh Tech looks. Their 3rd game in 3 days, and this is the hardest they've played in any of these tournament games.
That's the confidence factor. I think when things are going your way, you're playing with so much confidence and you're winning, you don't get tired.
Johnson and Outlaw, and count the basket by Outlaw, who has persevered to put up good numbers. 17 points, 8 for 10 from the field, 11 rebounds, and Flemings, as always, grinning when he, unlike a call, is his 3rd.
It didn't appear to be a lot of contact that time. Flemings was there.
Charles Outlaw, San Antonio Jay, and then from junior college to Houston, and has really developed his all-around game. Nice fade from Grayson to Jesse Drain. 83-67.
You know, it's interesting to me that with Wiles and Goldwire on the bench, Pat Foster in full court pressure.
Yeah, their biggest lineup, and it's doing the best in that full court press. Grayson with a three-pointer. That cuts it down to 13. Once up by 26, and they cut that in half. Questions now for Houston revolve around what this would do to their seeding in the NCAAs as Grayson commits the foul. I don't think anybody doubts they're in, but the question is, how high are they in?
Well, this will hurt their seeding. There's no question about that.
Anthony Goldwire, number 4, replaces Darrell Grayson.
How do you think those 3 freshmen from Tech feel? 1 year ago, they're playing in high school tournaments. The next year, they're playing in the NCAA tournament.
Well, they probably feel like this is why we came out here. That's the whole idea. And it's nice to see a guy like Flemings close his career with a chance finally to go to the tournament.
I remember how badly he felt when he suffered that first injury to his foot back at the beginning of his career when he was playing for Gerald Myers, who, by the way, did recruit Will Flemings.
Out of Paducah, Goldwire. Sasser, another rebound, his 11th rebound. And he calls time when he's trapped over there on that sideline. With 1:11 remaining at reunion in Dallas, where Dickey and the Red Raiders are headed to the NCAAs.
La Quinta Inns, our most frequent guests are traveling salesmen. So we asked a few how they'd sell La Quinta.
So you're on the road a lot. Put in some long hours? Hey, I know how tough that can be. We really do earn our money, don't we? Okay, now where to stay? You consider La Quinta? They treat you good and the price is right. You care about money, or do you just want to throw it away?
La Quinta. You're not staying at a hotel. You're staying with us.
What makes us all the same is that we're all different. And for us individuals, AT&T introduces the I plan, long distance that fits the way you live, because it's based on your life. I is for calling plans without complications, people who speak your language, and doing things that used to be impossible from almost anywhere on Earth. Imagine having your own I plan. I is for individual, only from AT&T.
Here's our Pizza Hut delivery of the game. Lenny Holly has been delivering all afternoon long, and Will Flemons has been on the receiving end all day.
Holly's played an outstanding game at point guard. There's Flemons taking the assist pass. Good hands, up off the glass and in.
That's what they're playing for. Postseason Classic 18 championship trophy to be awarded by Commissioner Fred Jacoby in just a matter of moments. And they'll cut down the nets just like the Lady Raiders did yesterday afternoon.
Party time in Lubbock.
I mean, first time they have won both men's and women's titles the same year. The only other team to do it was Arkansas in '91. And Tech is the only #5 seed ever to win the tournament, their last championship out of the 5-hole 1986.
That's difficult when you play that last game on Friday night and you have to come back and play the first game the next night and then 2 o'clock today. But has not been a problem for them. Sasser got inside again on the glass.
He's been remarkable. Twisting three-pointer by Anthony Goldwire, and this is a 10-point game. Lance Hughes in trouble over on the side and draws the foul. Well, Goldwire has been firing him up. Not many have dropped, but that's a real big basket.
Yeah, he's really in trouble right here. He doesn't get the square up. That's a tough shot, leaning to the right. Plus, he was falling forward. He hit nothing but the bottom of the net.
Tech cooperating by missing the front end of all these 1-and-1s. Houston's got a 14-2 run going over the last 4.5 minutes. And a huge steal by Lenny Holly. He looks up, he's got Sasser, and barely beats Outlaw. Count it with a foul.
No, I don't think there was a foul, Dave. The official was signaling the basket counted because Outlaw had slapped the board.
What hustle, though, by Outlaw. He was the guy stripped on the other baseline. He came all the way down and almost blocked the shot. Foster got his attention with the sit-down period in the first half, but too late to have an impact on the eventual outcome of this game. The last steal and bucket.
There you see it right here. Outlaw didn't get the job done. He wasn't expecting the ball. Holly comes up with a ball. Baseball pass. Sasser on the receiving end. Outlaw really strapped and hustled to get back.
Mostly Tech fans at Reunion Arena today. Eric Smith is fouled out with just 2 points.
Texas Tech in the NCAA tournament. Where will they go? Who will they play? Houston, you would have to believe, in the NCAA tournament. Where will they go and who will they play and how much will they be hurt by the outcome of this one?
And John Shoemate's SMU Mustangs wondering the same thing.
Yeah, you bet they are.
They just finally get a front end.
Shoemate and the Mustangs, Southwest Conference champions. They really had an outstanding season. And we understand that Shoemate has had a very good recruiting year.
Well, he needed it because he loses the most. He has brought that senior-laden team a little farther every year, all the way to 20 wins this year. Goldwire, another three-pointer. And it's 86-76, so the Cougars make it look respectable. And he almost steals the inbounds pass. They are breaking out the victory hats on the Tech bench. 13 seconds. Dickey says, put those things back. We got 10 more seconds. Then they'll be slapping them on. The foul is 7.1 seconds. Dickey coaching as if there's 7 minutes left in this game. But inside, the celebration has begun, even inside James Dickey, and the disappointment evident on the faces of the Houston Cougars and their fans.
Brad Dale replaces Will Clemens for Texas Tech.
Brad Dale in to give Will Clemens his well-deserved exit and ovation.
How about that reception from James Dickey?
.88-76, Texas Tech.
16 rebounds for Will Clemens today. That tells you how hard he was working.
It is all over in Dallas, and the Red Raiders headed to the NCAAs. To the SWC Classic Finals. They are a perfect 4-for-4 and the Southwest Conference Tournament champions.
What can you expect from the airline with the best fares in the air? How about attentive operation agents? Exceptional flight attendants? And some of the industry's most experienced pilots, like Pat Deegan and Jimmy Cook. Plus something else the other airlines don't have. The best on-time performance, the best fares. Southwest Airlines, just plain smart.
Auto Value is the store with the parts you're looking for.
For a blast of power and better mileage from all grades of gasoline, pour in a bottle of Berryman Gas Blast Octane Booster. And to safely keep your fuel system carbon-free and that new car running for a long, long time, try Berryman Injector Cleaner Fuel Treatment. Instead of the other leading brand, reach for the quality of Berryman.
Auto Value is the store with the parts you're looking for.
The Southwest Conference Championship game on Raycom is being brought to you by Dr. Pepper, by Ford and your local Ford dealers, and by Nations Bank. Texas Tech wins at 88-76. And standing by with Bob Ortigal, victorious head coach James Dickey.
Coach Dickey, you're in the NCAA tournament. How's it feel?
Well, it's a great feeling. I haven't been there in several years. It's been a long time since the days at Kentucky, but I told these guys what it was about. It's special to be there. They deserve all the credit. They did a wonderful job. Certainly, you got to give Houston a lot of credit. They came back. They battled. They never gave up. Pat does a great job coaching. But I'm so proud of our young guys, and especially for Will Flemings. He deserves this opportunity to be in the NCAA tournament.
James, were you surprised that Houston started in a man-to-man defense today?
Not really. They had started in a man before, and then normally going to their press and also to their zone. I thought we did a good job against their man. I thought our guys did three things that were very important, Bob. One, we played with a lot of confidence. Two, we attacked the entire ball game. And three, for the most part, we took care of the basketball.
Lance Hughes was outstanding along with Will Flemings.
Well, we certainly missed Lance in our game in Houston early in the year. In big games like this, your big-time performers have to step up. Will Flemings is a big-time player, and so is Lance Hughes.
Well, I don't know how well you dance, but good luck at the big dance.
We're looking forward to it. We may have to learn. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, James. Right now, we're going back to Dave Barnett.
All right, and a look at Will with 21 points and 16 rebounds today, only outscored by Lance Hughes. 27 points for Hughes on 11 for 14 from the field, and he's with Bob.
Lance, you got to feel pretty good about this one.
Yes, we do. Came in a number 5 seed, and we were playing a tough Baylor team, and we weren't sure if we were going to get it past it, but we played with the intensity that we needed to play with, and luckily we came out here with a championship.
In the last 2 or 3 weeks, were you people really shooting for this and really gearing yourself toward this tournament?
Yes, we were. We kind of had some slumps and some down periods, but I think we gelled, and we were peaking at the right time. and just lucky enough we came in here and played the game of our lives in here.
Okay, Lance, we wish you well in the NCAA tournament. Great performance today. Back to Dave Barnett.
And there's the trophy they'll take back home to Lubbock with them. The award ceremony going on at center court. And the victory hats on all the Red Raiders except one. Will Flemons, he's with Bob.
All right, Will, you've got to feel pretty good. A senior, the last time you're going to play in this tournament, but the first time you're going to play in the NCAA tournament.
It feels great. The guys really stepped their game up and just played a tremendous game. Houston's a very tough opponent, and we just went out and executed offensively and played great defense.
Were you surprised that Bo Outlaw sat out so much of the time in the first half?
Yes, I really was. I didn't know what the deal was, but I was glad for him to sit out so we could run something inside and not get it blocked. So, I mean, that was credit to us. Thanks a lot.
How do you feel right now, knowing that you're headed for the NCAA tournament and being a senior and reflecting not only on 4 years, but looking ahead to the next couple of weeks?
Well, it's a great feeling because this is my first tournament, and I wanted to do something special because I've never ever done it, and now I get a chance to. A lot of people wanted to get the chance, and I got it.
Will, we thank you for coming by. We wish you well in the NCAA tournament. You stay with us because we will be right back right after this message.
In Fort Worth, a new pickup helped the Dixons turn weekend projects into profits. In Tyler, we helped the Mitchells put down roots in their neighborhood. And in Wichita Falls, a hatchback allowed Deborah Carver's son to start college with more than just new towels. Nations Bank loan specialists have helped people all across Texas with car loans, loan refinancing, and loans for home improvements. Come see how Nations Bank can give you the power to make a difference in your life.
Call me nuts, call me lazy. This kind of workout is just plain crazy. Don't fill me up with expectations. I got what I want, no imitation. Fall in. Just give me what the doctor ordered. Dr. Pepper. Just what the doctor ordered. Just give me a Dr. Pepper. We want it. Whoa. Just what the doctor ordered. The taste that's made to water. We love it. Woo. Whoa. Just what the doctor ordered.
The celebration continues here in Reunion Arena for the Red Raiders and their fans after knocking off Houston 88-76. James Dickey finally descending from the table with all his players up there, and they have announced the all-tournament team, and the outstanding player in the tournament is Lance Hughes, the sophomore guard from Georgetown. Also on the all-tournament squad, Will Flemons, who had to be seriously considered for a player of the tournament himself. And they will carry all that happiness back with them. They can celebrate along with their women's team. It's a nice double for Texas Tech.
Oh, it's a tremendous double, and we can't do anything but wish both Texas Tech Red Raider teams an awful lot of luck next week in the NCAA tournament. This Red Raider team here this afternoon was outstanding in many, many different facets of the game. They earned it. They deserved it.
This conference very balanced this year. They look for a lot of these teams who have been pretty good this year to be better. Take a next step up next year, and Texas Tech will look to do that with a push from the NCAA showing.
Well, Texas Tech's going to be awfully good next year where those three freshmen become sophomores and Lance Hughes is a junior. But I agree with you. The league is going to be much better next year. I think the addition of new coaches and they're getting some better talent. It all speaks well for Southwest Conference basketball.
As always, I've enjoyed it. Thanks for working with me.
Thank you, Mr. Barnett. My pleasure.
Bob Ortigal, Dave Barnett. Congratulations again to the Red Raiders at Texas Tech, who have knocked off Houston for the conference tournament championship today in Dallas. The executive producer of Raycom is Peter Rawls.